Good morning from Ilfracombe. So I'm at what I think is the bus stop. There's no sign, but there's a sign across the street, and my map says there's a stop on this side. So fingers crossed, since Google Maps sent me up here, and it was a steep climb. So I'm just ready to head to Combe, and then the first kind of thing on my hiking will be Great Hangman, which is like 1,000+ feet tall and the highest point on the Southwest Coast Path. Well, I made it to Combe, which is where I'm gonna start walking. Just gotta find the path now. Well, I've never seen signs like this before, but it's that way. Ooh, another national park in the UK. And these are the signs that I'm used to, so apparently Hunter's Inn is the first point at 8 miles. Cool. Actually, it's gonna be Great Hangman, but there's no sign for that. So, Exmoor National Park. There we go, Great Hangman, 2 miles, basically straight up. Wish me luck. This doesn't even fully show how steep this is, and it just is going to be this way, I think, all the way. So this is Combe from above, sort of the quintessential River Valley village, because it's super long, which basically means like it hugs the river that spills out right down there by the sea. Probably means that this whole valley itself was carved by that river. And then people populated it. So for some perspective, I'm pretty sure that's Little Hangman, and then Great Hangman is further. You can't really see it behind this tree. But according to my map, that's what it's looking like. We shall find out. But that's like a mountain. That's a mountain. Slowly getting closer. Now only 1/3 miles, but still a long way to go. Oh, and that looks like somebody wild camping on the path, which people do. It's technically, I think, illegal, but the idea is as long as you are gone early and you don't set up camp until late and you don't, leave trash or whatever, you're fine. So I think I'm going up there. Okay, choices. So apparently the Little Hangman Summit isn't actually on the trail. It's just off it. Do I want to climb up there? Absolutely not. But I feel like I've come all this way. I might as well. I think in the distance, behind those little trees, is Great Hangman. I made it to the top. That down there is Combe. So I'm like 400 and something feet up. So, whew, that's a lot of feet. And that's the direction I'm going. I think that's Great Hangman. Well, it's not, it's hiding Great Hangman behind it, because that's what I got for you. It's supposed to be, I think, 1,095 feet. Something like that, at least according to my map. Baby steps. When I get there. Well, looks like we get this one little patch of blue, and then I think it's misty rain coming after that. So, appreciate the blue for the moments I have it. That definitely looks like rain over there. Made it to the top. Great Hangman, the highest point on the Southwest Coast Path. Although that one looks pretty similar, to be frank. And just as I get to the top, the sun is overhead. How lovely. So that's the direction we're going. Looks dark and ominous and rainy. This is the direction we came from. It looks dark and ominous and rainy, but for this brief shining moment, I'm going to appreciate the sun with this one little patch of blue sky for my rain gear for the rest of the day. And after spending the last 2 hours gaining over 1,000 feet of elevation, I gotta go down and up again. Apparently that's called Holdstone Hill. I am question the use of the term hill. It's quite grande. But apparently the path weaves around it like that. So I'm not climbing it, thankfully. According to this, I've gone 2¼ miles, and Hedon's down. It's 5½ away. Not sure what happened to the other checkpoints that were on earlier signs, but here we are. It's only mildly terrifying when you can't see the end of the path and you just keep getting closer and you just can't see any further, because you know that means it's going to be very, very steep. Well, I made it into the river valley. Here's the teeny tiny stream that did it all. Feels like a jungle down here. Can't even see the tops, they're so tall. Well, it opened up and truly rained for like 2 minutes, just enough to get me wet. Get all my rain stuff wet. And now look at it. Lovely. Can we keep this, please? Oh, hey, there's that Hunter's Inn thing again. Now it says 4 miles. 4 miles from Combe. Cool. Making progress. And if the weather stays like this, I'll be thrilled. There's buildings I've seen, like, since leaving Combe. That's exciting. Well, apparently I've shortened this distance to 3¼ miles, but yet Combe still 4 miles away. Math ain't mathing to me, but I'm gonna keep walking. Okay, the math is getting more confusing, but whatever, I'm getting closer, I'll take it. So 3 miles to Hunter's Inn, I guess. It looks like the path used to go over here, but there was a big landslip. So now it goes around into this field. That's massive. So are these hills? Like, look at that. Hills, sea cliffs. These hills, man. So pretty. That's the path though, so we're gonna take it nice and easy. Okay, so if my map is right, this is Hedden Valley, Hedden, or O-N, I can't remember. It's another one of those river valleys, so it's gonna be jungle-like down there. I'm gonna have to climb down, and then I think I have to climb back up again. That seems right. So I think this is the second to last big dip like this that I have to do, though. Fingers crossed. Definitely a forested section. Okay, well, I've made it to the Hunter's Inn, or at least as close as I'm getting, because it's up that little footpath there. The next thing is Woody Bay, which is 2½ miles. So I'm currently in Hedon's Mouth, which I think just means like the mouth of the river here. I might try to sit here on this bench and have some lunch, because it's like almost 12, and I don't know if I'm gonna get a better offer down the road. Okay, so I've had lunch. Now let's head to Woody Bay. It's actually like kind of nice to be here and have it be so different than what I'm used to. Like everywhere else on the Southwest Coast path I've been has been like not this like forested, and I usually don't like that, but it's kind of a nice change of pace, honestly. As long as it doesn't get too overgrown, we're fine. So yeah, I'm gonna enjoy the greenery and then climb back up a mountain. Oh, another little forested dip. I don't think it's quite a fully developed river valley because it seems like it stops back there. It might be a waterfall situation. We'll have to see where this path takes us. Yep, it's a waterfall. Looks itty bitty, but I bet at certain times it's pretty gushing. So there's been something that's like weirdly familiar to me about this area. I can't figure out what it is. I finally figured it out. It kind of reminds me of the Nepali coast on Kauai in Hawaii, which is Kauai is where I'm from originally. I live in Seattle now, but that's where I was born and raised and spent like the first 18 years of my life. So I'm familiar with the coastline there and certain areas of this coastline, just like how tall the cliffs are, and you know, it's super green and then it just like tumbles right into this like red dirt, black rock. Whew, that step. It totally reminds me of certain, mostly the Nepali coast, but like also other parts of Kauai. So mystery solved. Only 3.5 miles. I made a little road walk. I don't know how I feel about that. I wonder what the significance is of these. It's Russia, Iceland, America, and New Zealand. It seemed kind of random. Okay, well, there's not something you don't see every day. It's like a pole wire situation, like phone or electricity or something. Just in the path and that. I don't see, I mean, there might be some buildings down there, but it's weird. Well, there's a building that wire could go to. It's still weird though that it's run down here and not up on the road that's above us. Oh well. I appreciate the clarification of a long road, so you're not like trying to bushwhack through some of this forest or something. I just met this like lovely older man who was riding his bicycle and couldn't figure out which road would be like steeper to go up or down, and because I have my downloaded maps like which have like elevation gradation, like I've had so many instances where people have just been like, I don't know which way to go, and I can just pull up my map and like be helpful. So they're helpful to me and other people, which is lovely. Also, a map that shows elevation is key when you're hiking. That's my hot take. Probably not very hot take. Probably a lot of people would agree. So this is choices time. Now there's Lynton coastal path, and then there's the coastal path via the road. So basically there's this little headland that just juts out, but it drops like hundreds of feet of elevation, and that's this path. Or I could stay on the road and just cut out that headland. I'm gonna stay on the road. I think that the other path is just you go out onto that headland down there. It's just this big grassy field. I don't need that. I've seen enough big grassy fields in the last couple of weeks to last me. I'll take this. Well, you can't really see it very well on the camera, but that little like hazy line right on the horizon, I think that's Wales. It's definitely land. And it would make sense given where I am that would be Wales. Cool. Okay, so I stopped into this little tea cottage thing, but I wasn't really feeling it, so I just got a lemonade. It doesn't have bubbles in it, which is weird to me because it usually does here. So I'm gonna drink this and head out to the next bit. Valley of the Rocks, 3/4 mile. There it is, Valley of Rocks. I think it's goats. Let's see many goats over here. Well, I have a 1/4 mile to go. My watch died about maybe 10-15 minutes ago, so it's not going to capture the last mile or so, but we'll all know that I did it. Also, there's a couple of these cool shelters. Like if it's raining or super windy and you want to just enjoy the view. Well, it seems quite lovely, and there's some out on the walk too. Okay, I'm back to this like forested business. I'm gonna do this 1/4 mile. I'm gonna glance at the little hamlet of Lynton, and then I think I'm gonna get on the bus. I don't have the juice in me to go down to Lynmouth or Lynmouth or whatever you pronounce it, and try to explore there. If I on my day off, if I decide I want to come back, I can. If the weather cooperates, I think I kind of lucked into this weather for today, so we'll see. But plan is to go poke about a bit, hop a bus, go back to Combe, have dinner, either leftovers or go get fish and chips, and then go to bed because I'm exhausted. Apparently my watch is still going, so I'm excited to see what the end result is. Hopefully it gets me to the bus stop, which is less than a quarter of a mile away. Then I'll have the full walk. That would be the next section of the walk. I think there's 2 sections before Lynton area, but I hear they're pretty brutal, so for me they'd probably be 3. So I was in real good shape, but that's not an adventure for this trip. And here's the funicular you can take to go down to Lynmouth from Lynton, or you can walk. It's cute. I got ice cream, a pasty, because that sounded amazing. The ice cream is a Nutella one. It's nut Nutella. Super good. It's a little artificial, but it's kind of nice to have something a little different. So I'm gonna go an 8.8 out of 10. Well, I'm back in Combe. The bus was an adventure and a half, let me tell you. So I'm just gonna probably settle in for the night, pick you up again if I do anything interesting, but I probably won't. So that was July 4th, climbing the tallest bit of Southwest Coast Path, which is weird because I don't ever plan these things, but I've actually climbed a number of very tall things on July 4th in the past, so apparently I just accidentally keeping with tradition. All for now.